We're on. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed.
Unleashed.
The live television edition this Wednesday night. It is the day after Christmas. Thank God.
Happy Boxing Day.
Yes, it's Boxing Day.
It is, and the first day of Kwanzaa.
It is the first day of Kwanzaa. I thought about showing up in blackface and doing an Al Jolson type thing, but little Mel talked me out of it. The voice of reason.
That's what I'm here for.
So,
not a good idea.
Not a good idea. Glenn R.J. Willett also vetoed that little episode. So, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed, the television edition. Of course, we are in the QC News studio, but we're not in Studio F, ladies, as we usually are.
Studio A.
We're actually in Studio A.
I'm so sorry.
That's all right. It's very spacious.
Yes.
It's
not too often that the lobby's available on a Wednesday night, so let's enjoy it.
Yes, and of course, being here in Studio A, in this very spacious studio, we have this gigantic studio audience that Oprah herself would envy.
Really?
But none of you are getting a car. I'll tell you that right now.
A Christmas card or a New Year's card?
What they are getting is the opportunity to bask and bathe in my wit and wisdom.
Wow.
Oh, and the two of you as well. And
in your tub?
We could fit a tub in here.
Oh my God!
But
like that.
but I don't think the landlord of my apartment building would like it either.
No, I hear you.
It's actually in my lease. I have to leave the tub there.
I hear you killed Santa.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Yes. Santa is on the floor over there. I had quite enough of him.
He's too loud.
He, he kept.
His fan was too loud.
He's disrespectful. He goes around calling everybody a hoe.
Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah, and I don't like that. I don't like that. So I did something about it. I took action. I'm not afraid to slap Santa.
You a bitch.
Let me tell you something. That guy over there, I slapped him right down.
Yeah. He's only balloons. You don't have much to worry
Well,
about.
it's all right. I didn't really slap him down. I actually just deflated him. He's a giant inflatable Santa, and you can't see it off camera, but he's on the floor.
Too much noise.
He made too much noise, yes. But welcome tonight. To my right, of course, we have little Mel, who this is your first time.
It says trust
on
me.
Unleashed.
Trust me, I'm the doctor.
Ooh, you're a male doctor now?
Chris would get it if he was here.
Yes,
okay.
yes. Little Mel is, of course, a
How about
Whovian.
sharing it with us and in the audience?
It's a Doctor Who thing.
Okay.
And this is David Tennant, who is my future husband.
Wow.
And he plays the 10th Doctor on Doctor Who. So it's a take on the whole, trust me, I'm a doctor, except he's the doctor.
Now you're going to upset Chris Rose.
I know. Sorry, Chris.
And to my left is, of course, Glenn R.J. Willett. He is the owner and proprietor and media mogul of QC News, QCnews.com, where, of course, you're watching this program, or perhaps you're watching on IPMNation.com.
Who you are the owner.
Who I am the owner and proprietor of, yes.
I don't own anything.
She doesn't own anything?
No.
You don't own anyone either?
I don't.
Not a pet either?
No, see, I'm the pet if that happens.
Oh my God. You're too easy.
I know.
Somebody's got to be the pet.
It's true. I don't mind not owning anything.
You see, I was raised that a relationship is 50-50. You want to be a bitch, the other one will be a bitch too. It's got to be 50-50. It's called respect.
It depends on the BDSM.
But if you're into being a pet and being slapped around, I guess that's fine with me.
This is already gone where I
didn't think it was gonna go, huh?
It's like
that's what happens when you say you have a guest and you don't.
It's yeah. This is, by the way, the second time that I have been confused and thought that we had a guest when we really didn't have a guest. And little Mel, the keeper of the schedule, knew better.
And she didn't tell you?
She did tell me when I said to her, "Don't we have a guest tonight?" And she said no. And it turned out I was confused, and she was right.
I thought Friday you were kind of emailed her or something and asked her if you did have a guest, and you came back to me and said, "Yeah, we have a guest."
No, because originally there wasn't supposed to be a show today, so I didn't schedule anybody.
Oh, but the reason why we still have a show is because he said he had a guest, so I wasn't going to cancel it.
See, I sync up my schedule with him, and he's like, "I have everything," and
You see, we have a policy here at QC News, and you probably do the same thing at IPM Nation. If a
Yes,
show,
we have many
if
policies.
a
Glenn.
show has a guest and there's a special coming, and the special did not notify us early enough to let you know that you're off that week, they don't get live productions.
That is the policy.
We need-
all
we
the
need to-
major.
yes, we need to respect
Yes.
our producers.
Yes, that is the respect our producers policy.
Mhm.
All major media outlets have such a policy, whether it's NBC or CNN or QC News or
Or
IPMNation.com
us.
or what?
Us.
RRUS?
Or
I don't know
it's-
what that
It's
is.
some protest thing.
Yes, and they certainly have that policy, Glenn RJ
Yes,
will add.
they do.
Absolutely. It is an important policy to have. It is one that is revered and respected. And I'm so glad that we didn't break the policy, even though there is no guest.
We'd never do that.
No, we would never do that. We have journalistic integrity. We are broadcast journalists of the highest caliber. And that's what we do here.
Of the lay side.
What?
Of the lay side.
Of the lay side?
Well,
That sounds dirty.
No, we are broadcast producers, but we are not a regular average reporter that's out there. And someone may say, well,
No, we're safely inside.
don't report this. Just report what I want you to know.
Right.
You know, we report it all as it happens.
Yes, as it happens.
So don't you have some breaking news? A couple of things that are happening today?
A couple of things.
George H.W. Bush.
Well, Glenn, actually, you know more about that because I heard you
it just
discussing it on
It
RJ's
came
show
into- It
previously.
came into my Facebook.
So he is
Breaking news.
88 years old. George
88 years
George
old.
H.W. Bush is in the
The
hospital.
41st president. He's
Mhm.
been in the hospital since Sunday.
Mhm.
His fever is getting worse. It's climbing, but the doctors are
Optimistic.
Yes, he is talking. He's conversing with his loved ones, and
Mhm.
so he's in good humor. But remember, he is 88 years old, and the fever is getting high. So if he ends up developing pneumonia, that's not necessarily good either when you're that old.
Right, at that age, pneumonia can.
So let's hope that his
can
fever
take you
does
down.
die down, or the optimistic is not going to last very long.
Right.
So, I like the first George Bush.
hmm
The thing I remember most in his second campaign and didn't win was "read my lips," but he couldn't read his lips, could he?
Well, that's of course a reference to when he said during his first
No
term,
more taxes.
"Read my lips, no new taxes," and then he compromised with the Democrats and did raise taxes, and that came back to bite him.
But him and Barbara Bush, the first lady, Barbara Bush is the sweetest lady on earth. She has so much patience, and she's just a sweet lady.
Have you met her?
Yes, I have.
You have.
She's a sweet lady, and
The silver fox.
we definitely wish George H.W. Bush well.
One of the things in regard to George H.W. Bush, one of the things that was fascinating to me during the his son's presidency, W43, was the sort of almost a revisionism of a revisionist attitude towards George H.W. Bush, where all of a sudden all these people who never cared for him seem to appreciate him a lot more because his son was such a horrible president.
And now the son, the Republicans don't even want to hear about him.
No mention of him. Well, I shouldn't say no mention of him
Well,
at the
they do
convention.
mention him, but very little.
Jeb mentioned him because
Yeah.
he's his brother, and you have to.
Now it's funny.
He ain't heavy. He's my brother.
Yeah. If Jeb Bush were ever to run for president, he would be more like his dad.
Oh, I agree.
He's not like the 43rd president.
I've often referred to Jeb as the smart one.
He is a smart one.
Yes.
But I don't foresee a third Bush as president. Wow. I don't like that.
Well, I think a lot of people feel that
It sounds
way,
more
but
like a queen and a king now, an
yes,
emperor. Pass it on. But it's up to the people. If he does run and they
Yes.
decide to elect him, then that's democracy.
yes. I think it could be Jeb in 2016. I think Jeb
It's possible.
versus
Very possible.
Hillary.
He's a very
2016.
He's what?
Jeb versus Hillary.
Yeah.
2016.
And that would be a good match because Jeb is a very nicely liked guy and very smart, like you said, and he's into solving problems.
And moderate.
Yes.
Moderate.
He's very moderate. And what will that do to the present Republican Party are not moderates anymore.
No.
So will he be able in the next 4 years to turn them around and say, I'm running for president and I'm a moderate. You got to join me. I'm not joining you.
Or Chris Christie.
Christie,
Similar position,
I'm
a
beginning
moderate guy.
Yes, but I'm beginning to wonder if he's going to run. There's some days you're going to feel that he is, and there are other days he seems to be very happy as governor. Although it's only a 2. Is it also a 2-year position?
No, I think it's 4 in New Jersey.
4.
I think New Hampshire.
So
Very few states
to run
have.
this year, so that would make sense. He could still run for president in
Oh
4
sure.
years. Yeah.
Oh sure, absolutely.
That would make sense.
But that begs the question.
Now I respect Chris Christie much more than I did 6 months ago.
Yeah.
After what happened to Sandy, he did the right thing.
Yeah.
And he didn't snob the president. He did the right thing. And for some of the Republicans to think that he should have snobbed the president for doing his job, that's what's wrong with democracy here today, with politicians.
But as long as we're talking about Chris Christie, let's discuss the elephant in the room with him. Will the American people elect an obese president? I mean, he's a big guy.
He's got time to lose weight. I believe he's on a diet now.
He ain't losing.
I don't understand what his weight has to do with the way he runs government
Well,
or whatever.
But not everyone feels that
Some
way.
of the editorials are, or people who report the news are saying that it could go against him because people that are extremely obese don't necessarily live long.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot of health problems, which makes sense. Your lungs, your heart. It's a lot of.
Can he physically handle
Can
the
he
rigor
physically
of a
handle it?
campaign and then the
He does
rigor
have
of
the
the
brain
presidency?
for it, so
Sure.
I have no
A
question
smart
about it.
guy.
He's a very smart
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. It's the same thing as the as Romney's vice presidential candidate. What was his name again?
Paul Ryan.
Paul Ryan. He has a heart problem. It runs in his family.
Paul Ryan does?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he
But-
works out so much.
That's right.
He works out.
He's doing a good thing for himself. He knows it's in the family. He
Mhm.
lost his father early because of that, and he is
Yes.
taking care of himself, and that can very well prove that he's going to survive.
Mhm.
People need to learn to take care of themselves, or if they don't care about their bodies, then they don't care about how long they're going to live.
What about someone like I do a lot of coke because it keeps me awake? I mean,
That will get to your heart eventually.
You think so?
Yes, makes your heart pump too fast, and eventually it's going to get.
But it
to
might make him like more alert and stuff. When
Gosh.
Right. Yeah.
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 That kind of alert, you'll be too alert. You'll be confused, like he always is when he takes too much. Coke.
Confused.
You don't want to unleash him with coke or crack.
No crack. That's a ghetto drug.
Yeah, just the
So-
finest for you.
so
Yeah,
you
I'm
agree-
too high class for crack.
So you agree with Hillary on crack?
What does Hillary say?
Crack is
Same
whack.
thing. Crack is
No,
whack.
Whitney Houston said crack
Oh,
is
was it?
whack, and look what happened to her.
Yeah, but she took it. How can you say something like that and then not practice what you preach?
Do as I
He's
say,
a-
not as I do.
And
Yeah,
it's too
yeah.
bad because she was a
Human
great
nature.
singer, a great human being, but because of what she did, her past practices, it's what killed her.
I do think it's funny that people were shocked when she died.
So I wasn't.
Like, why? Like,
If you knew her
I
story,
can't believe she's gone. It's like, really? She was a drug addict.
you cannot live forever if you don't take care of your body.
Not according to
It's your,
Oasis.
it's your temple. If you don't take care of your temple.
forever. It's a great song. I just ruined it.
Why?
Why what?
Why did you ruin it?
I didn't mean to. I can't sing. Actually,
Oh, you can sing.
I'm a good harmony singer. But I
Harmony?
can't sing by myself.
For an extremely straight guy, where does the harmony come in?
I don't understand the question.
I'm not gonna go anywhere with that either. Let's go to the, if you want to, I want to go to the Mitt Romney, not Mitt Romney,
The Dick Army thing, because this
That's
just
pretty
you
disturbing.
just
That
brought
came
this
out
to my
today,
my
yeah.
attention, and then we'll get into some other stuff
to me,
as
that's
well.
pretty disturbing.
Have some things I want to get Mel's opinion on too. But this was
Are they
this
getting
came out
desperate, you think?
this came out of nowhere.
Yeah. Are they
And-
getting desperate?
And we were talking about the Tea Party earlier,
Mhm.
off
way
air,
down?
and what's that?
On the way down here?
Right before we went on the air,
Okay,
actually.
yeah, okay.
And Mel was asking what is the Tea Party exactly, and she's also our photographer. And Mel was asking what is the Tea Party exactly, and the Tea Party is basically it's become a wing of the Republican Party that believes that there shouldn't be any taxes. Basically, they want to starve the beast. They want to starve government. They have kind of a libertarian attitude in a sense, and that
More than that. I
yeah, but they're extremists, and
So
they
at
tend
least
to
the
be.
libertarians are somewhat smart about it, and they don't, they're very conservative, but if it's common sense, they will go with it.
Right. The Tea Partiers genuinely, or generally rather, seem what I would describe as clinically insane.
Yeah, they're not very passionate.
Well, I think
they're passionate about money.
right. Well,
That's about it.
they want
They're not passionate
like
about the human
no taxes, no government spending. Yes.
Do they get their name from the Boston Tea Party?
Yes.
Yes, that's where it supposedly came
Wasn't
from.
that like a good thing though?
It was in those days. But
Yes.
they didn't drop tea in the ocean. It's a totally different reason for them joining the Tea Party this day and age than it was back in the 1700s.
Yeah. And the name comes from, the name was coined by Santelli. What's his first name? I can't remember his first name.
I don't know.
Santelli, who's a guy on CNBC, which is it's like MSNBC, but it's all financial stuff. And he's the one who said, he made a random comment about we need a new Tea Party in this country. And from his comment,
Is where it started.
the movement sprung. But when you get into discussing social issues with these people, these Tea Partiers, they end up being very far right. You know, it's the Tea Party people who say things like, who make these ridiculous comments about forcible rape and
You know what really bothers me is that, specifically the Tea Party, they seem to have this idea that if they starve the beast, now, you're working, every week you get a paycheck, you got to give money to Uncle Sam for Social Security and for Medicaid. Now, according to the Tea Party people, you don't deserve to retire under Social Security or Medicaid because it wasn't meant for that. What the heck was it meant for?
Right, they don't believe in entitlements. There should
Obviously
be none.
not.
Everybody's just on their own.
But they do believe, because in the last 30 years, the Congress, not both parties, the Congress removed $2.8 trillion out of Social Security and Medicare to borrow and have never paid back a cent. And if they didn't do that, it would be fine.
Wait, they think Social Security is entitlement?
Yes.
Yeah, they don't like entitlements.
It's not. You're
period.
paying for it. You're
I
paying
was gonna
for
say,
it.
don't we pay like into it?
That's
or
right.
Whatever.
It's like a
So how
pension.
is it entitlement?
But they say it wasn't meant to be a pension. But what was it meant? It wasn't meant to be a full pension. But it was meant to take care of the people who were really needy that didn't make enough money in the last 25, 30 years that they worked in their lives to actually survive.
Ideally, they would like there to be no Social Security tax. They would like there to be no tax that we pay in. In other words, they'd like there to be no system that we pay into.
And if you can't survive, then die.
Right.
They believe in the
Very much so,
the
yes.
fittest.
Yes. And there's a little bit of a libertarian attitude to that too.
Not as
See,
strong
I
though.
feel like I have some libertarian views, but I never thought of myself as like this, like extreme.
Yeah, that
Right.
is an extreme. That's over the edge.
I think a lot of us have. I think a lot of us, even people who are very far left, I think most people probably, in some way, have some sort of libertarian attitude. Even far left liberals will say that they oppose, or they want to decriminalize or hopefully legalize marijuana. So they have a libertarian attitude toward marijuana, even though they're liberals.
You know what bothers me is that
I
they
wanna legalize marijuana.
Oh, absolutely. I think most people do
But
statistically.
isn't that a liberal thing?
not necessarily. We have too many people in our jails that are in jail for a reason that's not acceptable.
Right.
I agree.
If you go around the globe, America has the most imprisoned people.
Yes.
For a free society, it's okay if you commit murder. I understand that. You need to be in prison.
but
but
not if you
for a
smoke
joint?
weed, yeah.
We're going too far.
Right. Oh, absolutely. And there's the double standard
Double
of
standard.
if as far as alcohol goes, if you want to drink yourself into a coma, as long as you don't go and operate a vehicle, the government's fine with that.
Well, there was a
But-
time that didn't occur, but now that
Right.
it is. But
Yeah.
you know what? If they were to legalize pot, it would be regulated like alcohol, and they would get taxed for
Mhm.
it. So the government would actually make money. And is that a bad thing?
Well,
mean,
like,
I don't like taxation, but it's in our world, our society today. We say we tax cigarettes and alcohol because it's the sin tax. we call
Right.
it. Well, wouldn't pot be called a sin tax because it's not a necessity unless you have cancer? It's becoming that for a lot of patients,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not to the point where you'd smoke it 24/7.
Well, some people would. but-
I'm interested to see like with Colorado and Washington how that's all going to play out. Where it's like
Yeah.
Well, right now it
state
don't
and
look
not-
good.
and
There
not
are some
federally.
Republicans that are trying to get the justices to clamp down on it, and I really think that Obama has decided. His feelings is that they voted for it. It's the states' rights to vote for stuff like that. let's leave it alone and let's see where it goes.
Right.
Let's see where it goes.
It's very tricky though, because in these states there's all this worry that, well, if people are growing it, using it, whatever, in accordance with state law, that the federal government can come in at any time and start arresting people.
First of all, you shouldn't be able to you should be able to grow some for yourself, but not entire acres of fields.
Right.
That should be controlled to some extent. Isn't that how alcohol is controlled? You can have
Right.
you can make your own alcohol, but you're limited to how many gallons you can make a month or a year.
Right. Unless you're a moonshiner like Boss Hogg and Uncle Jesse, back back before the Duke boys got their General Lee this way.
Oh, like I feel with government, like with a lot of things, not like everything, but like I'm very much for like smaller government, like
totally agree.
Like the states controlling everything, and like big government being there for like military or like
disasters like FEMA.
stuff like that, and like more like the social issues. I mean, like gay marriage is a little bit tricky, but like most social issues, I feel like it should just be up to the state, and like I feel that that's kind of like a libertarian view too. So
Federalist,
yes.
I feel that
Which doesn't make
things
sense.
like gay marriage, that's a social issue. It's not a medical thing or taxation thing. If anything, if people were allowed to marry each other as as two men or two women across the country, they would be paying more taxes, and that's not a bad thing. They actually give to society.
Right. The conservative argument against gay marriage is that it dilutes the institution of marriage.
You
But
know what?
I think
I'm
the opposite.
sorry.
I believe inviting more people
I'm
into
sorry,
it,
yeah.
it strengthens the
I am so
institution.
sorry, because 57% of the straight Americans who are married within 5 years
are divorced. Yes.
And that had nothing to do with someone gay divorcing them.
Right.
Okay, so
Right.
I don't get it. Doesn't make the rhetoric is all what it is. It's rhetoric.
I
There's
agree.
no evidence there.
I agree. Well, of course, a lot
We
of
need
these
to get out
people
of our
too.
bedrooms.
But a lot of these people too, a lot of these Christian conservatives still cling to this belief that I think is asinine, but you can't talk them out of it. This belief that homosexuality is a choice. I mean, we were joking about it in the car on the way here, that it's a choice. That,
Now, who was it from Oklahoma? That religious guy. He claimed that what happened in Newtown, Connecticut, was caused because of the gay race. Excuse me? He does that all the time.
well, Mike Huckabee, former governor of Arkansas,
Well, he's from Arkansas.
said that yes. And he has a very southern point of view on it. Yes, he said it.
6-year-old children.
But he's not the one I'm talking about. I'm talking about that religious right guy from Oklahoma. He goes
I
to
didn't hear about
funerals.
this. Are you talking about Westboro?
From
Yes,
Kansas,
from
Westboro
Kansas, yes.
Baptist
He goes to
Westboro
funerals
Baptist
and he
Church.
told, leave these people die in peace.
Fred
respect them.
Effin Phelps.
Yes, Fred Phelps. Yep.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
gone too far.
that was something we were going to get into on the. We'll get this. We'll get to the Dick Army thing later, but
he
this
obviously
this
doesn't read
leads
the
into.
Bible. Because remember the lady who went up to Jesus and said, "I'm a prostitute," and he said to them, he was first one to throw stones.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He says, "Go, stop sinning and go and live your life."
Well, so many of these people, and the Westboro freaks are an extreme
Oh, yeah.
example of it. But so many people practice something
Be
that.
very angry.
Yeah. So many people. Well, you can become unleashed.
Yeah.
So many people practice what I call the term I coined ironic Christianity, which is the form of Christianity where they try to have as little as possible to do with anything Christ actually said.
Well,
Because Christ said, don't throw stones.
that's the
And,
kind of Christianity that I was raised on.
right. Yeah. Christ was about, not hating
You
people,
should practice what you
not
preach.
judging people. Right. But so many of these people they're all about judging.
You know,
and
it's so funny-
Westboro is an extreme example.
Oh yeah. You know what's so funny? If Christ were to, when Christ comes back, he's claimed that he's going to come back. When he comes back on earth, I think people like Phillips are going to get an awakening
Mm-hmm.
from him.
Well, he's just, Phillips is just evil. Phelps, I'm sorry. The
I don't know
Westboro.
why I'm correcting, but
The Westboro church people are just evil people. And you were saying something earlier about the petition on is it whitehouse.gov?
it's through the White House. I don't know the exact
I think
Petition is it?
it's on whitehouse.gov.
What kind of petition is it?
We're losing our set.
So there's a petition because it got started on December 14th because the Westboro Baptist Church wanted to protest the Sandy Hook funerals.
Yes.
Luckily, there was a lot of people that came to the defense
Yeah.
and basically blocked them from doing this. The Westboro Baptist Church was attacked by the hacktivist group Anonymous, and
I love Anonymous. Good people.
so now there is a petition to legally recognize Westboro Baptist Church as a hate group.
Mm-hmm.
And take away their and possibly hopefully take away their nonprofit status.
I think that's the end game. Yeah.
It currently has like 250,000 signatures, and it is right now the most popular single petition ever through the White House initiative, and it
Wow.
even like surpassed the whole like federal like gun control like act. Like that's how popular this thing is right now, and like I really feel like it needs to be done because like Obama, like I forget what year it was, but he signed like some act saying that if somebody wanted to protest military funerals, they couldn't be within 300 feet, and they can't do it 2 hours before, 2 hours after. So in a way, it was responding to Westboro, but it wasn't like attacking them directly.
Yeah.
It was more like in general. But the Westboro Baptist Church doesn't just protest military funerals, as we see with like Sandy Hook and
Right.
these other, and they're not like, they're just like have you? I don't know if you guys have ever been on their like website.
No.
No, I'm not interested either.
It's ridiculous. Like they have videos of their children singing about how like God hates fags and
Right.
deads, and it's like, how can you teach your children something like
Right.
this? Like how can you prime them to be like, that's like disgusting.
What kind of Christianity is that?
Exactly. And like,
Teaching your kids to hate.
you know, there's signs like thank God for dead soldiers, and it's ridiculous. And like obviously like you can't stop someone from having an opinion. If they want to be that hateful, that's fine, but keep it to yourself.
Keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Like don't be disrespectful and stuff, and don't go to freaking 6-year-old's funeral
Yeah.
being like, oh, you died because like God is punishing you
Society.
or what, like what?
Well, their whole
No.
thing is an anti-gay thing, right? Like that's why they protest the soldiers, not because they're not protesting the funerals of gay soldiers. They're protesting the funerals of soldiers in general because they died fighting for a country
Yeah.
that has gay people in it. And we're not all freaked out about it.
Well,
so
you know,
therefore
gays
God is
fighting the wars too.
It's
You know.
other
Yeah.
stuff. It's not just gay stuff.
Yeah.
It's like it's a whole
Oh yeah, it's a lot more
Yeah.
than that.
more than
That's
that.
only one of the items.
Um,
One of the issues.
it's just like there was an interview a few years back with Shirley Phelps Roper, who's I think Fred's daughter, I think, and I'm pretty sure she was being interviewed on Fox News, and the newscaster completely tore her apart.
Yeah.
When you get torn apart by somebody on Fox News, I'm sorry.
Right.
Like that should tell you something.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And anyone, if anyone hasn't seen the video yet, and I posted it on my Facebook at one point, the video that Anonymous, the hacktivist group, put out attacking Westboro is epic. It's like 3 minutes, and it's really ominous, and you hear this computerized voice, because they are anonymous, saying things like, you know, Westboro Baptist Church, you may not have been aware of our existence, but we are very much aware of yours. It's so cool.
Do you know that the Westbrook people have been to Manchester?
Have they? They've
Yes,
been here?
back in when Baines was in office. I think
chat
what year
room.
that was. I want to say 2003 or something.
Chat room?
Yeah.
We have 3 high schools, and 2 of the high schools had a gay-straight alliance,
Mhm.
and the West High School didn't. And they petitioned the city to give one, and the city didn't want to give one because Baines was against it. It's his school. He used to be principal there.
Mhm.
Totally against it, and it ended up going to court and cost the city a lot of money. And of course, they were discriminating, and so they lost. And they came to the high school to protest
No kidding.
for allowing it to happen. Let our kids get educated.
Wow.
We have more severe problems than that.
Yes, yes. Glenn, you should move in a little bit. You're kind of out of the shot.
Am I really?
Yeah, we're seeing half your face, and
Really?
we want to
It's
see
all- it's all- it's
we
all
want to see your
equal
whole
now.
face now that it's all equal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that better?
That's better. Yeah. Yeah, you got to see the anonymous video though. It's awesome. And what happened was, the way they dealt with the Westboro freaks in the case of the Sandy Hook funerals was they put the word out. I think they published Anonymous published online like the names and like where all these people were staying, what hotels they were at, and whatnot. And there was some bikers
Yep.
who showed up at the funerals and kind of formed a human wall to keep
Yeah.
the Westboro freaks away. So, which was very cool. God, I love Anonymous. They're good. God bless them. So,
I mean, they obviously don't have very much common sense.
well, no, they're just inbred hicks. They're just dumb inbred hillbillies who don't know any better. That's
Would you say they're a breed of their own?
a breed of their own. Oh, this country's full of inbred hicks.
Yeah, well, true.
I mean,
Some worse than others.
yeah, I mean, geez,
Are you a hick?
no.
No, I didn't think so.
Even here in New Hampshire, I'll tell you, you get
There are a
up,
few.
you get up north, man. It's
A little hickey?
you're gonna hear a few banjos and you know what I mean?
I do. I mean, the
It's a little
interesting
scary.
thing about WBC though is there's about I think like 80 something members, and it's all the same family. It's
Yes, and where do they
Well, I'm
get
sure-
all this money to travel?
it's not like they have
Well-
like like it's everybody in the Westboro Baptist Church is related to
They
each
are
other.
rich sect.
Right, yeah. Yeah,
I would dare say they're probably a sect.
yeah, I'm sure they're.
And
Well,
where
I'm
are
sure
they getting
they're
all
all-
their money? I mean, traveling is not cheap. They come by busloads.
Yeah, that's a good question. I guess people must donate. Like I said, there's a lot of inbred hicks in the
They
country.
certainly
I'm sure
don't pay
there's
taxes either.
plenty who donate.
So if
you
you're
know.
going to be a hate group, you shouldn't have the rights of status of a nonprofit. I totally agree with that.
Right, right.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Have you
You know-
seen the video that what's his face, Michael Moore? I think he did the 9/11 Fahrenheit 9/11.
Mhm.
Michael Moore made a video basically where he like goes to like where the Westboro Baptist Church
Yes.
is like protesting.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's
Yeah.
so-
I saw
it's,
that.
it's a
Really?
really good video.
Yes.
I have to see that.
Now, if of all the issues that are very important to our existence in this nation, why is it that no taxes for the rich and they're into our bedrooms, issues like that? I mean, especially the bedroom issue. Government shouldn't be in any type of wedding, not gay, not even straight weddings. It's all about money. Money, 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 money. If they only
Well-
charge you for the birth certificate, or I mean, should say the marriage certificate, that's one thing, but they charge you a lot more than that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the Republican Party has a lot of problems. And that I think leads us nicely to this story that you told me about right before we went on the air, Glenn, and I think I was like, what? I still can't believe this.
You did.
I did exactly that. I did what?
Came as breaking news in my Facebook account.
What?
Yeah.
Dick Armey, who has one of the most unintentionally hilarious names in politics. It's right up there with Anthony Weiner. Who, of course, for those who don't remember Anthony Weiner, he's the congressman who accidentally tweeted a picture of his wiener out to the world. And everyone saw Weiner's wiener, and then he had to resign in disgrace. And it's still fun to talk about that story, even though it was so long ago.
He's not the only congressman that's done strange things. The one that
He's the only one who's tweeted his wiener.
Wiener, but look at the guy who kept showing his chest, took off his shirt for the ladies, and you're a congressman. What are you doing that for?
Right. Well, I would do that,
He had
but
to
I'm
resign, too.
so hairy I'd frighten people.
You probably would.
Yes.
Although some ladies like hair.
That's true. You gotta like hair to like me. I'll tell you what. That's for sure. I'm like an ape.
I'm not a big hair fan, and I like.
So you're a
you, man.
bear.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So you're
He's
a
a
bear.
cub.
You're an
He's
a
a
cub. Now that is a
He's a
gay cliche.
He's not big enough to be a bear. He's
Right.
A
True.
cub.
I'll tell you.
Is he young enough to be a cub?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
I'll tell you an embarrassing story. I
What's
once went to be intimate with a woman, and she went to run her fingers through my chest hair, and her hand got stuck.
What was she wearing? Cleats?
No, her hand got stuck in my chest hair.
Wow. I guess you are the ape. You claim you are.
Well, yes. It was very awkward, and yeah, there was.
Did you remind her that before she goes through your hair chest, you should never put glue in her hands?
My hair chest, yes. Well, I do have a hair chest.
No, do you ever really hairy back?
A little bit of back hair.
See, I don't like.
But
the
you're not
guys
really a
that they're,
bear.
Like,
A bear is-
super like all covered. And
I'm not. No, I
Really,
got a
like,
little.
hair.
A bear, that's
a little-
considered a bear when you have it
Yeah.
all over the place.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I got a little bit. I got a little bit.
Non sequitur.
You know what's so funny is
But
I
you
never
know,
had hair on my chest or on my back, and since I've lost my hair, that's where it's falling, especially on my shoulders.
So the
I've
hair
never
falls
had
out of your
hair
head on
on-
your
It
back.
seems like it's.
I've never had hair on my chest or back either.
You should.
Good.
Although some ladies do have hair on their mustache
Mm.
and their chin.
And their chin.
Yes.
I've never met a girl who had a hair
Oh,
on
I
her chin.
have.
I
and,
get two little hairs on my chin that I'm not
On
gonna
your
lie. I
Two
shave
little
it.
hairs on your chinny
Do
chin
you,
chin.
Do you pluck it? once in a
I'm
while?
not gonna lie. I shave it off because I.
You
I
can go to
can't-
laser
I
for
don't
that and
want
get rid of it for good.
plucking, and I like. Yeah, I have the Italian chick mustache going on.
She
This is
likes
our
to
beauty
pluck.
tips
Yeah.
segment,
You love to
ladies.
pluck, huh?
Since we're not in Studio F tonight, we're compensating with beauty tips
We are.
and talking about me and my hair.
Oh my God. Let's go to Dick Army.
Let's go to Dick Army.
Read that news.
All right, this is from Huffington Post
I
today.
love Huffington Post.
This is the story that made me go, what? Dick Army brought armed guard into Freedom Works in coup attempt. I will read this to you, and I will no doubt editorialize along the way, as I often do. Former House Majority Leader Dick Army, Republican of Texas, who abruptly resigned as head of Tea Party group Freedom Works, brought in an assistant with a gun in an apparent coup attempt at the group, according to a report in the Washington Post. On September 4th, the assistant escorted out Matt Kibbe, president and CEO, and Adam Brandon, the senior vice president, accusing them of ethical misconduct. Others were put on administrative leave, but the Washington Post report says that when they started crying, they got their jobs back. The report is the latest account of a breakdown in the influential conservative organization that has financially backed the Tea Party movement. Army, in exchange for resigning, will receive $8 million from the group, paid out in annual $400,000 installments.
Horrible.
Well, that's a tough gig, huh?
Unheard of.
For consulting fees. Mother Jones obtained his departure memo, in which he specified that he wanted his name removed from all of the group's materials and asked them not to use his booklet.
Now, does it also say that or mean that now that he's getting that money and he's not going to be, they're not going to press charges on him bringing that gun?
I don't know. Perhaps we'll get to that. Kibbe accused Army of backing traditional Republicans over Tea Party candidates, according to a Mother Jones report. Though the group endorsed Representative Paul Schweikert over Representative Dan Quayle in a GOP member versus member primary in Arizona, C. Boyd and Gray, an Army ally, sent donations to Quayle. I know Dan Quayle was still even involved in politics. Like other conservative groups, such as Karl Rove organized American Crossroads, Freedom Works generally fared badly in 2012 congressional races. Its affiliated Super PAC that spent over $19 million failed to win Senate races in Indiana, Florida, Ohio, Virginia, and Pennsylvania, while the $1.8 million it spent to defeat Tammy Duckworth against Tea Party Representative Joe Walsh, Republican of Illinois, and Joe Walsh, by the way, not Joe Walsh from the Eagles, this other guy, Joe Walsh, absolute scumbag. So glad he lost.
Know him?
No, but he's a prick. This guy's disgraceful. We can talk about him in a minute. He also failed. In the coming second term of President Barack Obama, the group faces questions over what exactly it will do next. And then
Spend more money.
in an update from 6 p.m. Eastern, money is speech, you know. In an update at 6 p.m. Eastern, in an interview with Mother Jones, Army played down the severity of the incident and identified the man with the gun. It's kind of funny. How do you downplay something while identifying the man with a gun?
I mean, they knew who he was. He's got a recognizable face.
It's no big deal. He just had a gun. Army said that the gun-toting man was Bo Singleton, a former Capitol Hill police officer. Bo Singleton sounds like a soap opera character,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
really, yeah.
I'm Bo Singleton, ladies.
Some tough guy.
I have a gun. Later we'll be in Studio F. I don't know what I'm saying. David Corn, reporting for Mother Jones, writes that Singleton, quote, used to be part of Army's Congressional Security Detail and has volunteered his security services to Army and Freedom Works for years, unquote. Army explained that Singleton, quote, was well known to people at Freedom Works, unquote. Army claims to have been unaware that Singleton had a gun at the meeting. Quote, Singleton kept it under his coat in the back, but the news looks like Army came in there like John Dillinger, all guns ablazing. That was false, unquote, explained the former Freedom Works chairman. Singleton also disputes the Washington Post's description of the incident, which goes as follows. Singleton, 56, confirms Army's account. He says that he has known Kibbe and Brandon for years and that he has often been around at Freedom Works. He adds that during the meeting between Army and Kibbe, he just observed. I was just kind of there. I can't see why they would act like I was menacing, unquote. Well, he just had a gun. I mean, that's no big deal. It's not like he went in with hand grenades. Gary Hopper carries hand. Hi, Gary, if you're watching. He doesn't actually carry them. They're in a desk at the studio.
I hope not.
Yes. Funny. Well, actually, he used to carry them, but he was afraid the SWAT team would get him. Anyway, in the Post's account, the unnamed gunman escorted Kibbe and Brandon off the premises, but Singleton says he did no such thing. Quote, whatever problem they had with Freedom Works, I had no issues with them. I was not used to get them out of the office, unquote. This is crazy stuff.
It is.
Crazy.
So he gets to resign, and he gets $400,000 at a time for how much?
Dick Armey, yes.
How much total? $8 million?
I don't know. Enough to buy his own Dick Army.
I'm not going to go there.
And a Dick Navy and a Dick Marines.
It is funny, though. They're giving this guy $8 million of money that was being used to defeat the Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
They must have a lot left over.
Yeah.
They don't want us to raise their taxes, but they got money to fool around like that.
Yes.
Give it to these quacks. My God.
Well, they still have a lot of power and influence.
Well, money only has power and influence. But you talk about money is speech. Do you know what I've discovered? Sometimes they say that elections are also speech. Someone who's elected has a voice.
Mm-hmm.
I find that since I opened up GCE News Media Services, that there's more. I have more power in that speech than I would have if I was an elected official.
Really? But you are an elected official.
Well, but that's to count vote. It's not like an alderman or a school.
Oh, come on a minute, Glenn. You run this town.
I do not. Wish I did, but I don't. There'd be a lot of changes.
Yes. What kind of things would you change?
I would freeze Yager Decker immediately, and in 2 years it would disappear. That's $50 million a year that we're spending that we don't need to spend, that a private sector would never do. I would make sure that I would immediately freeze all until the contracts are done, and then eliminate double dipping. If you work for a department and you resign 10, 15 years later and you get a pension, you don't come back within a year and get yourself hired to another department and then you start a second pension. If you did that in the private sector, they'd probably take you back with a new position, but they would continue paying your old pension and you would just get more when you retired, but you wouldn't get a second pension.
Right. I agree. No double dipping.
There's a lot of waste.
Does that mean you would take a stand against adultery?
Well, I always take a stand against adultery. If you're going to be with someone and you love them, you shouldn't be cheating on them.
So you'd make it illegal if you were mayor?
Well, no, that's the bedroom. So that's none of our business.
We were talking about double dipping.
Well, that's not double dipping. It's not the same kind of double dipping I'm talking about. Now, also is the teachers. The contract is due. They have to now pay $20 per copay when they go to the hospital or a doctor. This $5 thing is out the window. We pay $20 or more.
Can I ask you a serious question?
What?
It's regarding the double dipping. Does it bother you if someone puts a potato chip into the dip and then takes a bite and then re-puts that same potato chip into the dip with their saliva all over the potato chip?
Yeah, that's disgusting.
I'm not gonna lie, I do that.
Yeah,
Do you?
Well, yeah.
I do when no one's looking.
Sometimes you
Yes.
tend to want to do that, but if you're with a crowd, you don't want to do that because you are with somebody. If you do, it's yourself in the house and you're dipping in your own bowl, it's different.
Yeah.
But how would you address that as mayor?
That's nothing for me to address.
Oh,
There are too much important issues to address without addressing
I
stuff
think
like
it's
that.
important.
I think it's very important.
That's a behavioral matter.
That is yes, and you know what? It is behavioral, and people who double dip, they choose to double dip.
I choose to double dip.
Yes.
Employees who choose to have two pensions from the same government, yes, they choose it for a reason because they make more money. Who's paying for that? You and I.
I'm not. I
It's
don't have any
wrong.
money.
I don't either.
You're paying taxes. You get a paycheck every week. You pay taxes.
No, I'm not.
No.
I'm just kidding. Of course I am. We have viewers in Washington, D.C., and I think the feds might watch this show.
And is that? Oh, you have a thin skin.
No, but can I tell you a funny story?
Sure, Matt.
Hammer, who a bit of a mentor of mine, Hammer, who used to own RageRockRadio.com, gave me my start. My first radio show I ever hosted was on RageRockRadio.com. It was called The Metal Classroom. And Hammer had, at one time, some sort of like amateur porn site called HammersHotties.com.
Really?
And he wasn't doing anything illegal. Like, all the women who were on it were over 18 and whatnot. But Hammer, I hope he doesn't mind him telling this story. I don't think he would. Hammer, this was a long time ago. But, so Hammer had this website, HammersHotties.com, and he would monitor the web traffic to see where he was getting hits out of. And he noticed one day that he was suddenly getting a lot of traffic out of Washington, D.C. He also noticed that the software that he was using would provide him with not only where the traffic was coming from, but with the IP addresses.
Wow.
But the IP addresses for coming out of Washington, D.C. were all blocked. And it was the only time that ever happened. But the ones coming out of D.C., it was not showing him the IP address. Somehow it was blocked. And he thought, oh my God, the feds are watching me. They're monitoring my site.
And were they?
And it freaked him out. I don't know, but it freaked him out, and he closed the website.
Wow.
Yes. Yes.
You had a guilty conscience?
No, I think he just got nervous. So when I see, because we have viewers and listeners out of Washington, D.C., and I wonder if the feds are watching. I might be on a no-fly zone for all I know.
Let him watch.
Maybe the
Why? You're a
feds
danger?
were looking
Well,
at the site and made it like winky
Look,
winky.
Yes.
Maybe that.
Ted Kennedy was a
Maybe.
danger. A congressman, and pretty well respected and well behaved, but he ended up becoming on the no-fly zone, and it was all about politics. We all know that.
Yes.
You know.
Well, he may have been deemed too large to fly.
You're funny.
Well, he was pretty big at one point. Not as big as Chris Christie, but let's be
So
honest.
that means he can't fly?
But Ted Kennedy was no svelte man.
No, he was not.
No, Chris Christie, I don't think they'd let him
Not
on
like
a
you,
plane.
Matt.
People
I said
with
you
money.
wasn't svelte, not like you.
I'm sort of svelte. I wear dark clothes. I'm
and that makes a difference.
I'm clocking in at about 290 to be
No, you're
honest,
not.
but the clothes
Yeah.
I wear make
No,
me
he's
look
not.
about
Slim. You
make me look
slim,
about
yeah.
170.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
The camera actually takes weight off in my case.
But see, to me, that's not true.
I'm a big guy. I barely fit in
I'm
this
like
chair.
squished right here because he's so
Yeah,
big.
I
I can
am.
barely fit in the shop.
I'm a
Oh
big
my
tub. I'm a
God.
big tub of goo, is what I am.
Laura,
I really am. I'm a big hairy tub of goo.
you should be telling her that, and not me that.
I'll tell you what. I'm just saying. I'm a big guy, and I don't mean down there because I'm Irish. I just mean like everywhere else. You know what I'm saying? I barely got through that door.
I was there.
I'm a big man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next to Santa, I mean,
Santa looks anorexic next to you.
Yes, he
really,
does.
does now.
Yes,
So
he
should we
does.
talk a little bit about 2012 and how it served you, and 2013 when your hopes
Served
and
me a lot of
aspirations?
food. That's why I'm so big.
Seriously, was 2012 good for you?
It was,
An average year? Or?
yeah, I guess it was good. Some good things happened. Some bad things happened. My Facebook account was hacked. That was a bad thing.
Yeah.
That had some very bad consequences.
You don't know who did that, huh?
I still don't know who did
mine,
it.
Mine was done for months, and that's why I even got back in.
I still don't know who did it. But boy, I'll tell you what. I know someone who took it very seriously, and there were some consequences for that. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Was that video ever posted? The one that was.
No, I still haven't seen the video,
Good.
but
A video of what?
there's supposedly there's video of something that never happened.
Of
Some
you?
videos.
Well, if it never happened, there can't be video.
Right. Well, that's why I'm not worried about it.
Uh-huh.
Do I sound defensive?
No.
Good, because I'm not.
If somebody sounds defensive, it's mere gases. Always in defense.
I think he had something to do with it.
I
Gatsis!
don't think so.
He's a big guy himself. You know what? I think he's jealous of me that I'm not quite as big as he is. Mayor Gatsis, of course. Now, what's his favorite restaurant, Glenn?
Creamland.
Yes.
And in the winter, you go, oh, I miss my Creamland.
Creamland, the most unintentionally hilarious named restaurant in Manchester.
It's a good place, but
Yes, but it does.
listen to it.
Yes,
Creamland.
Creamland. Yes. And then of course, we also have Goldenrod, another unintentionally.
They serve good food there too, but again,
But it's also, it sounds like it's the sequel to Creamland. Creamland 2, Goldenrod.
and they're open year round.
Yes.
That's where he
Oh,
goes-
yes, they
I
are.
mean, it's where he goes in the winter.
You can get Goldenrod anytime you want. For those of you who don't live in Manchester, New Hampshire, yes, these are actual restaurants in Manchester, Creamland and Goldenrod. And you can find them, I have no doubt, at your local video store, if one still exists or if you're able to time travel.
They certainly wouldn't fit Michelle Obama's plan on stopping obesity.
No. I wish she had a plan to stop my obesity.
You're not obese.
I wish Michelle Obama were right here to be like, stop obesity,
Yes.
stop.
You think he's obese?
I'm.
He's a beast, maybe, but he's not obese.
I'm huge.
I mean, his shirt is like really hanging on. It looks like
Yeah.
his button's about to pop.
He
They
does that on
are,
purpose.
yeah.
He does that on purpose.
Like,
He wants to look. He wants to look like what do you call that Greens guy?
The Greens guy?
The guy that pops up his shirt. He's
Oh, the Incredible Hulk?
Incredible Hulk.
yeah, but the Incredible Hulk is muscle.
Right.
If his shirt popped, it would just be like rolls of like fat.
Right, and
You got a
hair.
long ways to go before you
Yeah.
get muscles, huh?
What's that?
You got a long ways to work out before you get more muscles.
Yeah, I mean, I think I have pecs somewhere under here.
Somewheres, huh?
I'm actually very flat. I'm kind of insecure about it. I went to get an augmentation, and at the consultation, the doctor just yelled at me and told me to get out of his office. I don't know what that was about. He was very rude. And it actually made me even more insecure.
You didn't get him for it.
Hmm?
You didn't get him for it.
I didn't get what?
You didn't get him for it.
Get him for it?
Well, his job's not to make you even more insecure.
That's right. His job is to make me more beautiful.
You should have sat on him.
No.
Yes, I
God.
should have. That would teach him.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
too manly for that.
I did give him a stern talking to, I'll tell you that. You don't humiliate me, doctor.
So, what are your hopes and aspirations for 2013?
For
Any
2000,
predictions?
for any addictions?
Predictions.
Oh, I thought you said addictions.
No.
I was gonna say I'm
You
a
don't-
coke
You
habit.
don't need that.
Oh, I'd like to kick that. My nose is just hanging on like Michael Jackson.
Start today.
All right. Why? It's not New Year's.
Maybe you try like heroin. Don't you lose weight?
I don't want to
when
stick
you're on
needles. I don't
heroin?
want to stick needles in my arm
Or
though.
like some drug that makes you like lose weight, and then you know.
Oh, like the
you-
AIDS diet?
Yeah, like the AIDS
Yes.
diet. Yeah.
We live in a society that we have a problem with drugs, but our pharmaceuticals, that's all they do is produce drug after drug after drug for every ailment you can think of.
Mm-hmm.
And
You
like
know?
half the time, the drugs have worse side effects than like weed. or
Don't you love those
whatever.
commercials on TV? This is good for you, but if it does this and this and this
Right.
and this and that, you shouldn't be taking
May
it.
cause
Oh my
sudden
God!
death and
If it does all this stuff, I shouldn't be touching it.
massive anal bleeding and
Heart
Yeah.
failure.
I
Yeah.
know.
It's like for itchy, watery eyes.
Why would I want to take something like that? But it's a perception, and that's why now we have pretty much the old cliche is that there's a drugstore, there's a bank and a drugstore in every corner.
Mm-hmm.
And a Starbucks.
Starbucks
Or
has
Dunkin'
not paid
Donuts.
taxes, federal taxes in England since 2009. That
That's
was breaking
okay
news
because
today,
they're delicious.
and so they shouldn't be paying taxes.
Why don't they
should
pay
get rid of
taxes?
As long as they keep making delicious
I know that the government
lattes
has-
for me.
England right now is
then
not
I'm
happy
good.
with them, so maybe they're going to take them to court. I don't know. We'll soon find out. That came out today too, that they haven't been paying taxes since 2009.
Huh.
How dare they?
How dare they indeed?
They're the same people that said that if Obamacare goes into reality in 2014, that he would lay off every full-time employee and they'd only be working part-time. That's such a baby thing to
Well,
do.
the guy from Papa John's said something
He's another
like
one
that
that
too.
did, yeah.
Yeah.
Papa
That's
John's
so
is terrible
childish.
pizza.
That's
Yeah.
so childish.
Nobody cares about Papa
Are we
John's.
becoming a
Yeah.
society that has no more compassion for our own people now? It is really. Are we going backwards and becoming those who survive are only the fittest and everybody else step aside?
Well, I won't survive then. Look at me.
I'm disgusted.
I'm a mess.
You are. You are.
You need to fix them then.
I know.
Glenn is an Adonis.
I am.
Yes,
Why
look
would
at
you say
you and
that?
your look at you and your rippling muscles.
I don't have rippling muscles. Oh my god, I have a hard time keeping my muscles because of my illness. No, I don't have rippling muscles for sure. I wish I did.
Oh, come on. You're being modest.
Oh my god. So you never answered the question. What
Yes,
are you
what was
hoping
the
for 2013?
2013.
Any aspirations?
Not to die.
Well, it's a good thing.
I wish for
And be
that
healthy?
every year.
Mm-hmm,
Not to die.
Yes. Be healthy, wealthy, and wise.
Wealthy, and how are you going to increase that?
I'm going to take over QC News and turn it into a booming media empire.
I don't think so. Anyway, my goals are.
Well, not with that attitude, I won't.
My goals are to adopt a son.
Really?
Maybe get married by the end of the year, the next year. Some type of settling down, but not slowing me down.
Yes.
Opening up the new station, 10,000 square feet.
Yes, I'm excited about that.
Going satellite with the new station.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to print either April or May.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I have some big goals, and let's see how many of them we can succeed. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I do have my vices though. Tape doesn't stick.
No.
I do have my vices, as we all do. No one's perfect.
I am.
You are,
Yeah. I'm perfect.
even in size.
Yes. Perfect's my middle name.
You eat.
I do.
Okay, you're not one of those that just eats and then gets rid of it. What's that disease they call?
Bulimia?
Bulimia?
No,
You're not bulimic, are you?
I am not bulimic.
That's good.
Nor anorexic.
That's even better.
No, I'm not. I'm
So what are your
far
goals
from
for this
perfect.
year?
For 2013, I'm supposed to be finishing my master's program in school. I'm currently in school, getting my master's in psychology,
Wow.
and it's it's really surreal for me because I've basically been trying to achieve this since I was like 15 years old. When I was like, I think 14 or 15, I was in a sophomore in high school, and I found out that juniors and seniors were allowed to take Psychology 101. So I was like, cool, I'm going to sign up for Psychology 101, and I just completely fell in love with psychology, and I've had a lot of like issues like myself, and I feel like I didn't like really get the best help that I could have gotten. So I kind of, you know, unlike what's his face Sandy Hook guy who like, you know, didn't get the help he needed and decided to be like a psychotic murderer, I'm gonna do different. I'd be like, hey, I didn't get the help, but I want to help you, you know, get what I didn't get. And I didn't have the best luck as far as college went. You know, when I got out of high school, I tried going, and I had to leave. Then I went to community college, and that didn't work out. So I finally got my bachelor's degree. I go to the University of Phoenix online, and I got my bachelor's degree in December of 2011. And I remember talking to my counselor, and they're like, well, you know, what do you want to do next? Like, do you want to go? And it's like, that's something like graduate school is something I never thought of. It was always like, I'm just gonna start my bachelor's degree. But kind of to do anything, especially what I want to do in the psychology field, you really need to have a master's degree. So
You see marriage down the road? No? You see marriage down the road?
Marriage? Well, who would want to marry me?
Marriage.
Why would someone want to marry you?
No,
Well, because I'm fat and hairy.
I do that in confidence?
I definitely want to get married. I don't think it's going to happen in 2013. I did learn a very valuable lesson in 2012, though. At the beginning of 2012, I was like, this is going to be my year. Everything's going to be awesome for me. And it was. Like, a lot of, like, great things happened in 2012. But then a lot of bad things happened.
Shit happens.
And I learned that the reason the bad things happened was because I literally made one person the center of my whole entire world. And when that person was taken away, I don't have a world left. And my like awesome 2012 was like this devastating, and I just like, that's something I'm gonna try to do in 2013 is not make one person like so important in my life that if something goes wrong, I'm left with nothing. Sorry, I just like went on a tangent there.
Oh, it's all right.
I see 2013 better than this year. I mean, I fought cancer the last 2 years, and now I'm back on my feet. And I finally realize how precious life is, and That's why I want to adopt a child and maybe get married down the road.
Really?
Imagine that, 60 years old, and I'm going to get married and start a family.
Is there a chapel down the road?
Is there a chapel down the road?
Well, you said you're going to get married down the road.
Well, does it have to be a chapel? Can it be a church? Can it be City Hall? Can it be your...
I don't know.
Right here in the studio?
Actually, Norm could marry you, right? He's a minister.
Really? I'm sure he could.
Wouldn't you like that?
I don't know. I have to find out.
Yes.
See what happens then.
Yes. Well, we'll be
It
getting
will be a shocker, that's all I'm going to say.
Really?
Yes. I will predict that I am running for office in June, July.
You are?
But I'm not running for mayor.
Oh, what are you running for?
I'm running for selectman again.
Okay.
Although the mayor should be careful because, you know, somebody else might run for mayor. I'm sure somebody else will.
Yes. Somebody always does, Mayor. So think about that when you're at Creamland and Goldenrod. Yeah.
Wow, 9 o'clock already.
It's 9 o'clock already. Yeah, we got a little silly the last 20 minutes, but whatever.
Happy New Year.
Got to do that once in a while.
See you on Friday.
Yes, Friday night. We'll Let It Large Gone Global.
Our New Year's show.
Rumor has it someone will be in a diaper.
I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I said
No.
that's the rumor.
He doesn't qualify.
I'm too hairy.
The
Do
hair.
I qualify?
You could.
Oh, sweet.
All right.
Are you going to come in a diaper? Is she telling us something that we don't know?
No, this
I'm
is the set's falling apart.
Yeah,
I
you're
guess
scaring the set.
I guess it really is time to wrap up. So we'll Let It Large Gone Global Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time here on QCnews.com and, of course, IPMNation.com. And that will also be here in Studio A.
Yes, and we're not sure if BE's going to have a show on Sunday. They're still thinking about it.
Yes.
It is
Hopefully,
Dan's birthday after all.
yes. Hopefully, we'll be having Dan's birthday show on VE Sunday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
That could be interesting.
And it could be.
He could be wearing the diaper.
Yes, we'll put Dan in the diaper. It's his birthday after all. And what else we got? Saturday night, of course, the radio edition of Matt Connarton Unleashed. Saturday night, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Do we have a guest?
Saturday night?
Yeah. No.
Next week we do.
But next week on the television edition?
Mhm.
Okay, so next week, back here on the television edition of Matt Connarton Unleashed, who's our guest?
Lilith Astaroth.
Lilith
Wow.
Astaroth.
Is that who was supposed to be here this week?
No.
Okay.
No. There was nobody who was supposed to be here this week. I was just hopelessly confused.
Well, we are thinking about going to the inauguration for a second time.
Oh,
But
yes.
this time not as public access, but our own
Yes.
station.
Yes.
So we're starting to work on that next week.
Mm-hmm. Very exciting.
Could be.
And
We actually be going live on the internet,
yes.
so that'd be fantastic.
Yes.
Who
Yes.
says
indeed.
that little media don't count?
That's right. Glenn, this is a global media empire. What do you mean little media?
We're
This
little.
is
We're little.
this is
Do you know what I did yesterday? I spent half an hour. I gave my message, 2-sentence message, on Christmas, and I interpreted it in 19 languages. I had help.
Wow.
I had help with a translation of Bing, though, but it worked. I got a lot of response.
Buon Natale.
I think I'll do the same thing in New Year's.
what does that mean?
Merry Christmas.
In what?
Italian.
Oh well. I don't know much Italian. I know like meatball and
You don't even
stuff
know
like
much
that.
Irish either. You don't speak Gaelic, do you?
Never had a Gaelic in my life.
Yeah.
Can honestly say that. As fat and hairy as I am, I've never done that.
You're not fat.
Just letting you know, ladies.
Maybe a little
Never
chubby,
done
but
that.
not fat. I don't think you're big.
Do you just call him chunky?
No, chubby.
Chubby.
And even that, you're not chubby. You're about the right weight for your height.
Again, like I say, I wear these dark clothes
And
because
you're wearing tight for a reason.
very-
You want the girls to be attracted
very,
to you.
very slimming. You know,
Right.
I'm. Truth is, I'm like. Remember William Refrigerator Perry? I'm about his size, actually. If you see me up close.
It's funny. He
Black.
says,
Yes, and I am black.
you know, it's funny. He was saying that
I'm black
earlier
Irish.
that he has no confidence, but he wears all his tight clothes for a reason. It's not because he doesn't have confidence.
Do you actually know what the term Black Irish is?
I do.
You do?
I do.
Good.
Which
What
would
is it?
explain why I'm so hairy.
Oh, okay.
I wear tight clothes. I wear leather pants around the apartment when I want to feel sexy.
Not gonna go there. Do you use a whip while you're at it?
On myself? Yes.
No, maybe with somebody
Yes, I
else.
do.
Wow.
I flog myself every day.
You're not unleashed for nothing.
I'll tell you what. But that doesn't make me any less of a man. You know how manly I am? You want to know how manly I
How
am?
manly are you, Matt?
I don't bathe like in a shower or in a bathtub. I go down to the river, I take off all my clothes, and I repeatedly hurl myself into a large boulder until all the dirt falls off of me.
Now,
Because
that's
I'm a
manly.
freaking man.
Yeah.
All right? So just because I wear leather pants around the apartment to feel sexy, don't think that that makes me weird or anything. I'm still a man's man.
Okay. What? You were a man's man.
Wow, that came out wrong.
Yeah, it certainly did.
Well, you know what I mean, Glenn R.J.
I know
Willett.
what you mean.
You know what I mean.
You're straight as an arrow.
You know what I mean, ladies.
All right. Let's wrap it up.
All right, we're gonna wrap it. That's a good idea because otherwise, I don't
Going
want
all
any
night.
pregnancies or have to do the
No
Falcon
oopsie
Punch.
daisies?
No, I don't want that. I had a near miss when I was.
You don't want another little papoose?
I had a near
Like
miss
you
when I
running
was
around?
17.
You don't want another
Did
one
you
of
know
me?
that?
Really? No, I didn't know that.
When I was 17, I impregnated my 21-year-old girlfriend at the time, and
I don't want to hear what happened.
well, she had a miscarriage.
Oh, okay. That's acceptable.
What did you think I was gonna say? I did the Falcon Punch?
No, I thought you were going to have an abortion. She had an abortion.
No, she didn't have an abortion.
Anyway,
she had a miscarriage.
You, there are ways to take care of that. You know that.
To take care of what?
Of not being of not getting pregnancy, not getting your girl pregnant.
Yes, there are. That's why I wrap it up. Like the song, "Wrap It Up, I'll Take It." I'm singing a lot lately. Maybe I should sing.
Maybe you should bring your guitar on Friday
I don't have a guitar.
and
I have a bass.
you have a bass. Bring your bass.
Yes.
And
Yes.
do
please,
Old Lang
please,
Syne.
please.
Oh, that sounds great.
It would.
No.
Do it in your style. That's why it would sound
I'll
different.
I'll sing the song.
There you
please.
go.
No, that's not
Can you
gonna
do
work.
that for us? Can you tell the
Please.
audience so they can all
I'd
look?
have to learn it. I don't have time.
Oh,
You-
it's so easy.
I'll tell you what I'll do though. I'll hum it. I'll sing it with someone. I'll sing it with you. We can sing it together
In what language?
No, you need to play the bass though. When
Yeah,
you're
you
doing
play
it.
the bass.
sometime.
You're such a good player.
I'll play the bass sometime.
All right.
I'll play it wearing my leather pants, and it'll be hot. It's gonna be so hot.
It's going to be a midnight show.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
on
yeah.
Friday.
Oh yeah, it is. All right, Glenn's going to shut us off. I'm just exhausted, and when I'm tired, I get silly. It's been an exhausting week, and I hate Christmas. Anyway, thank you, Glenn R.J. Willett. Thank you, Little Mel. Chris Rose, sorry I couldn't make it tonight, but we'll be back next week with Lilith Astaroth as our guest on the television edition. And that's it for tonight. Bye-bye, everybody.